Yo, this is Avery, the lovely Avery. It's her birthday weekend. It's her birthday weekend. And I'm Drexel. Uh, this is DNA, the YouTube version.
Yes.
We're going to be doing not only DNA of YouTube, but podcasts, heck, all streams and sources that we can get the word out there. Decided to do this. Wanted to just talk about our relationship as it is going and the process of it growing. It's pretty major. It's amazing to me.
It is.
And we'll be talking about some things. Hopefully it can be tips, as we are learning tips, and hopefully you can start seeing some, you'll hear some truth, or it will cultivate the truth that is already in your heart, for the possibilities. Because one thing in life, when it comes down to relationships and finding your mate, it can be a task seemingly, but man, for what we are experiencing, it's pretty easy. Really easy.
Absolutely.
It's just like that, like finishing the sentence or catching the same words, like it's just that easy, and it's getting better and better and better. So we're gonna go from there. Oh, DNA. What does it mean to you?
Besides the initials.
Yeah. Well, that you tell them why. Yeah.
I
Tell
mean,
them
if
the
it
whole
wasn't
shebang.
obvious, Drexel and Avery, and not and,
Yeah.
but
Wait until marriage for that. But yeah,
all that.
all that. Huh?
DNA speaks life.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. It's fresh, forever growing, forever renewing.
Yes.
Just as life does. Some people think that in death, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's even more after that. So just DNA, keep going.
DNA. And there's an entanglement in DNA. So, our hearts are entangled and getting tighter and closer. And in due time, our DNA will create DNAs and stuff like that. But that's for another episode.
Down the line.
Tonight, we will be just kicking it off, popping it off with some just like dope illustration. As we are, this is gonna be probably my second time. Your first, second time baking a cake? Third, 14th, 15th. She's looking at me as she has done it and owns a bakery for herself.
Wait, no. I didn't say all that. But I have made a few cakes in my lifetime.
Okay,
Cupcakes
so
count?
cupcakes. It's a
Oh,
cake.
yeah.
It's a
I've been
cupcake.
making cakes for a long time.
Baking cakes for a long time. So, one thing about it is, whenever you're making a cake, there's a lot of intangibles that is needed as far as, let's just say, partnership, companionship, instructions, a mixing, a togetherness, a unison.
Yep.
You go through heat. You go through, when it's baking, you go through
Change happens.
change,
Transformation.
and it can be hot and tough. But in the end, which we will find out tonight, and you will too, in the end, it will turn out to be very, very beautiful. And all of that is like the sculpting. I like to think of it as the real beauty, the real love, like the things that make the relationship.
Yeah.
Not just the outside, but those things that make the relationship, as far as, and we're going to hit on a couple of topics, but the communication, being financially in unison, the conversations about sex, or thoughts on those things and stuff, where we stand. What else? Communications.
Say communication, finance, sex, health.
health.
Spiritual, religion.
That's the foundation.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a lot of other, facets of a relationship. And then once that is all, like that's all the ingredients we have talked about before, and didn't know what we was talking about as far as like, man, this is real powerful. But those are the things that make up the individuals and stuff like that, and finding out on what's the inside, what's, how they are thinking, where we're going, what's my plan, where do you fit into the plan and stuff like that, and most importantly, what God has already pre-planned, and why is that person there to cultivate. And in due time, when it's all said and done, and it's all looking beautiful, and it's just a cake, in the beginning stages, but in the long run, at the end, you get to put that beautiful icing, and that icing is, we just say the icing is the sex. Mm-hmm. So till marriage, we're not saying we're not promoting sex before marriage. Nah. No. But really once you have formulated, then you have met your partner, and you have made it known, like, that is who I want to join and link up with and do life with, for lack of a better word. And then we will put that icing on top, because I think that makes it better.
That much better, yeah.
When you really know that I really do love this person. Right. So we're gonna start the process of the cake. We'll talk and chime, and we're gonna have a regular conversation, keep it fresh, keep it flowing. And hey, remember, it's a birthday week, so we doing this.
Drop that cash app, cash.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Birthday every day. Every day. If y'all want to see more of us, hit us up. No. All right. So, beginning stages. So what is my part? I love companionship. So this is one of those ingredients. As far as I love companionship. I love partnership. I love to know my role and stuff like that, respectfully, rightfully, so I can know that, hey, am I in place so we can flow and make this cake and stuff like that, and make life beautiful, So what's my role? I also like to yield to.
Let's see. I'm gonna do the hard part. Mix it up.
With it.
So, it calls for 3 eggs.
I don't know if she need her glasses, but she know what she doing, so.
I don't need the glasses. I can deliver from the glasses.
Right.
But I just don't need them right now. All right. So, we up. I didn't know how else to do. There we go.
We're going up to 350.
Yes, it's
This relationship has gotten hotter just in the matter of 8 minutes.
It be like that sometimes,
You thought you knew, but now she is saying, I really don't like it when you, and I just turns up. So
I didn't even say all that.
8 minutes, and now she's grabbing scissors.
I'm just this up. Alright, so. Alright. So mix the cake mix.
Hey, we got some beautiful music. We're gonna be sometimes. Look, we keeping it fresh. We got some beautiful music going on in the background, some R&B. So just keeping it flowing, man. We're just enjoying the time. She over there cake mixing it up, as you can see.
Now what I should have done is I should have mixed the eggs separately. I've never come across a bad egg, but my aunts who are bakers was like, you always mix your wet ingredients separate from your dry until you're ready to mix them together, just in case you mess something up on that side, you mess up the whole thing.
I never knew that. Your aunts were bakers, are
cooks, bakers, all that. Were.
Yeah. Oh, by all means.
Yeah. So, a half cup of vegetable
I
oil.
just threw it all in together. That's it?
You can, but you know, on the fair chance that, you know.
I feel like I'm like Anita Baker tonight. I'm gonna give Avery and this cake the best that I got. I'm gonna whip it like it's never been whipped before. Millie Rock whip.
On any butt?
Oh, sorry.
Hey, you flowing, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting on to do my part. So,
Alright.
little, got that all. Like, look, we'll do some sponsors right now. Shout out to Great Value.
Shout out because it's showing sponsors.
Yeah, y'all haven't sponsored yet. Hey, Great Value. Look, we'll do this if y'all sponsor us. Sponsor love.
Alright. 1 1/4 cup of water.
So Avery ain't gonna tell y'all. She probably don't know what's gonna come out my mouth after thousands of times. But she was gonna actually get the devil mix. And she a Christian.
He was gonna eat it too.
Yeah, I was. I was gonna get that sin, and then I was gonna ask for forgiveness. But
Grace and mercy.
she like that super moist triple chocolate fudge for her birthday. I thought she was dropping it like it's hot. I was like, wrong. Sweetheart, we ain't on the dance floor.
No.
That's how she said she coming in the 27. So, inside joke, if you follow Avery and seen her story at the time that she turned 27, you would understand. But she like that triple chocolate fudge and cake mix. And figured that's how she like her man. So, triple chocolate everywhere. No friskiness on the people.
What?
I'm attracted to her. Like, see this?
You ready to mix?
I'm going mix. All right. So she give me why you give me the hard part?
Because you're the man.
We're going somewhere with this. All right, what I'm mixing with? What?
Take your pick. Wait.
Take my pick, but I ain't got nothing to choose.
Well,
I think you was.
yes.
We're prepared.
There you go. So,
Tell them why you.
I let you do the hard part. I could have very much, really. I could have very well mixed those ingredients together. But everybody has a part to play. And as my man, I let you be my man. So, I let you handle the big stuff. And when you need me to handle the big stuff, I'll be able to do it.
Because I was about to tell you, the first night we went out on a date, and y'all can hear me. The first night we went out on a date, I wanted to take the bags from you in Walmart, from Walmart. Yeah, we went to Walmart on the first date because I had to go get some stuff.
Ladies, if he can't take you to Walmart, that's a problem.
That's the problem. 24 hours. And so I was like being the gentleman because that's how I was raised, and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But I was just like, you know, I gotta do my part. I don't want you to carry stuff in your hands. And lo and behold, like the unicorn that you are, inside joke, y'all figure out that more. We'll do a unicorn episode on why she's a unicorn. Yeah. Like you handled it all by yourself, and the bags wouldn't handle it. It was just like,
If it was a case of water, okay. But it was just a bag.
yeah. So I've come to find out that there are some things that's just, you know, was good lessons. I feel like it's like the Bible. Like the Old Testament was the law, and then you had Jesus. So it's like we was raised right, and we don't throw away the law,
Mm-hmm.
all the principles and stuff that we was taught, but we also have a fresher understanding
Right.
and a way of doing things that actually applies that law to the relationship.
Right.
Because everything and everybody not the same. Ooh, I like this song.
What song is this?
I gotta get back to mixing.
Maxwell Ascension. Don't ever wonder.
Whipping it.
But who said that was the gentleman thing to do to carry the bag?
Sorry,
And he was talking about me dropping it like it's hot.
I'm mixing it like it's cake.
You was just almost working on me.
Almost doesn't count. All right, go on with the conversation.
Who's? That's my job. I like this one.
It's her birthday, so
Yeah. Who said that like to be a gentleman that you have to carry a bag?
and not specifically nobody ever said make sure you carry the bag or anything, but just like to keep your hands free. For no reason, like I don't know why to keep your hands free, but just to keep your hands free. Like I'll carry everything. Like I'll be the pack mule,
But it's like, okay, that makes sense. But then my mind also thinks about, like, especially if it's not like anything big or heavy duty or whatever,
Yeah.
I would want your hands free. Because if something were to happen, quick reaction,
Yeah.
you
Well,
got back in your
okay.
hand.
That's true. That's true. So you saying like if you say example like if you had the bags and you tripped, or I would be able to catch you. That's
Yeah.
what you meant. Okay, so that would be the not the only, but that would be the example of like, well, why not just take the bags so you can focus on walking.
Okay,
Does that work, guys? I don't know.
it does. But like, what if somebody was trying to walk up on me and you got the bags and you trying to?
Don't test me. I might cook. I might whip it up here, but I'll whip your head. Go on.
With the
Sorry.
bags in your hand?
It was just.
So wait, I gotta lose out on my eggs and milk because of
Somebody gonna get that yolk to their head, and I'll go back and buy some more eggs. But
Nah, I get it. I was just throwing out the there.
no.
Situational.
But in all, like I didn't fight it. I didn't fight it. I was just like, oh, okay, like, cool, you got it. Because one thing I've also learned is don't just be a giver, but be a receiver. And one thing that I've learned, with you, the Holy Spirit told me, and has really expressed it and is expressing it on a continuous basis, is you really can't control love. Like if it's a good thing, if it's a connected thing, if it's a real thing to you and stuff, like you can't control that. Like let the person be and stuff, as long as they are, intentionally really trying to show you love, you really can't control it. So, yes, you really can't control how to love somebody. All right, so I have mixed and we have talked, and she got the hands. Is there any certain way you want me to pour this?
No.
Communication is key. This is a birthday cake. Y'all come get some if it ain't expired by the time we post this. Which by then you'll be too late, and then we'll just have to do another cake.
What about y'all? Okay.
What y'all think about DNA cake? Nah, see, it'll be too healthy for some of y'all. I'm sorry.
When I think of cake, I don't think of health. I don't want to think of health.
So just like how we was just not mixing, like, and talking while mixing, that's just like, those things have to be known to come out like this creamy goodness.
Which one did I get? I didn't get the dough.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Triple fudge.
Okay.
Is it getting heavy?
I'm waiting for you to finish so I can lick the bowl.
Look at you gonna lick the whole bowl? That's why I'm the trainer, and she's the trainee.
I
That's it.
listen well.
She does. She does. She does real well. Like the jeans that she got on right now. I mean, they look good for sure. However,
I was like, where is he going with this?
no, I'm not gonna. Can't tell the world everything. No cap on vibes. But she was having trouble. She had to pull them up a couple of thousand times, having a slim waist. So she listened. I'm gonna allow her and myself, because I'm not gonna live. I don't think I'm gonna live. But to enjoy her spoon birthday, licking and bowl, whatever she does, I don't know. It's gonna be a surprise to all of us. But she gotta put that junk on camera, because we ain't.
I don't personally have anything against R. Kelly, but I don't want to listen to this song.
My. Johnny. Hey.
All right,
She ain't show me how to show this. Look, she from New Orleans. And no, don't hide your face now. They ain't know who you are. And I'm trying to figure out how to shoulder shimmy. I thought
Shoulder hustle.
shoulder hustle. See, I don't even know the correct terminology. And I thought once I get in with a New Orleans girl, I'll be doing all that.
Okay.
My feet, and then being
It's
See what? See, she knows and she act like she don't.
But, like,
she just did a move that I never.
you doing it,
Do I go
but
backwards?
it's opposite
So both shoulders.
at the same time.
I'm going like, wow, wow. See, and she said I gotta look up YouTube videos and stuff
You see how easy that was, though? You did it.
because of communication,
You're right.
and because you say you love me.
I did.
We've been together, been around each other since November 26, 2019, and today is January 25th,
Yeah.
2020. And I'm just now learning that one
Stay in the
shoulder
present.
goes
Stay in the
forward.
present.
No, all right, I'm gonna get it right. I like it now.
Huh?
Sorry, I'm shoulder hustling my tail. I gotta work.
Like,
Bro, like, she's so fluent. Like, I'm so New Orleans. Like, dang.
I mean, your hand usually like here, something like that. However you want to do your hand, and like,
I don't know. I have so much. Okay, back to the cake. So,
Okay.
what's next?
So, we don't have the exact fan size that's on this box.
We
but
don't care.
I imagine
It's her cake.
that you're gonna set it at 30, and we'll just check on it at 25.
Y'all gonna see the beauty of this all. All right. So we have now mixed the cake batter, and now we're going into that stages of that heat, of that pressure.
Let's apply some pressure and talk about these topics.
Yes. Are we going my Johnny Gill? Huh? See, once you show me how to shoulder, when do you lick the? Are you gonna do that while we're talking? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at what the? I did not know that was just about to happen. I thought it was a mic, and she's now licking the mic. All right. Well, so that pressure, that pressure.
This is horrible.
So, is it good? Does it taste good? Did I mix it right? All right. Well, I'll just We're both going to work out after this. Okay, so
24-hour gym. I'm ready when you are.
so one topic. Um, well, let's talk about that pressure. Pressure first.
Okay.
All right. So the heat. What does that represent to you in a relationship? What is that like? What things? We may talk about not our past, but like experiences, just to because we good, but there are things that are out there that we've experienced, and some things that we may experience and stuff. But there's a different outcome because we're poured out and we're cleansing.
Yes.
That's another hot topic, man.
Is it?
DNA.
It's bold.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know if she's gonna tell y'all much, but we're gonna try to get as much out of her as we can. So,
All right.
what is
No,
that
I was
pressure?
talking about the bowl, as in the cleansing.
Oh yes, that is.
I mean, I'm
another.
gonna go in on this bowl, but
Yeah,
I was also saying.
I pretty much. So pressure.
You said heat.
Yeah, what does that heat?
What
Yeah,
does that
what does that represent like in a relationship? I want to know what that pressure represents.
To me, the pressure is like those defining conversations, the defining moments. Because I feel like that will look different for different people. For me, the heat is when you have those tough conversations that pull out the real you.
Yeah.
That make you think a little bit differently, or not differently, but makes you think different. Like in relationships, you have those cute, sweet conversations, and
In the beginning.
everything's all sweet. But then you start asking about how you feel about
And
finances.
there's the oven. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
how you feel about sex. You know, where's your mind at on this, on that. Those things that really matter.
Yeah.
And so that's like the conversation piece. And then the actions are, you know, when different things arrives, when it's not all cute and cuddly and everything's going smoothly, but, you know, how do y'all handle when different things arise, when outside forces? Because usually when it's just us, you know, everything's going to be good. But it's usually when other things from outside come in,
The past.
it starts applying a little pressure. You know, how do y'all handle it together? Those defining moments. To me, that's the heat.
Yeah. So, spot on with everything you just now said. As far as with that pressure, especially when it comes down to those conversations, because of the fact that, first of all, you don't know how the other person's going to communicate. Are they fully telling you everything?
Absolutely.
First of all, do they even desire to tell you everything? Like, how's the relationship and us just getting to know one another? And because I always think, like, if you know how important that person is to you, or you have an importance of that person in your life, it matters. If it matters just that much, then you will go the distance in one thing, being, you know, just open just from the get-go. But it is something like we have to be, what's the word? Transparent. See, I'm telling y'all, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. But being transparent. And so, but not judgmental, but transparent.
Right.
And I think that's where we like get, as a whole, we go into it thinking like they're gonna judge me because of my past, and they're gonna judge me of all the other things that I've been through, other pressures and stuff like that. From the jump, and therefore it's defeating or adding more pressure
Right.
to or more heat, all in all, to the, not even the relationship, just then the beginning stages of getting to know somebody. And so, and then you also, those communications about finances, about sex, beliefs, feelings, actions, how you feel. Like, hey, if I put the AC on 72, like, do you like that? Like, or you like the heater on and the fan on, right?
Right.
Right. So it's just in all the getting to know. So, with that being stated, what is you had stated about like in the beginning the pressure as far as like the getting to know. So, how did how did we go? Like, was there pressure in the beginning, like because we was very open.
Mhm.
Like, we spent 7 hours on the phone. The very first
Pretty much.
phone conversation,
Yeah, it was the first phone conversation.
and there was a lot said, and it was like, wow. So, and very open and very transparent, and knowing it's transparent because it's a continuous conversation, or there's
Yeah.
depth into that. So, my question is like, how were you able to go into like and just meeting a whole new person, and getting to know a whole new person because we knew of one another, but
Right.
and just be fully open right off the bat with the pressures and the things that you've been through and I've been through, and things that we, just trying to go and grow into.
So I don't think I was as open as you were from the very beginning.
Like a book.
Like that 7-hour conversation, you opened up a lot more than I did. I mean, I, kind of flowed with it and was open, but my openness to me came over a period of time. Wasn't a long period of time, but that's what allowed me to be able to be open with you, is how open you were with me.
Yeah.
We talked about a whole lot that very first night, and it was just like, after you being open with me, like telling me different things, asking me different things, like things that weren't normal, like, and not in like good things.
Yeah.
Like you really wanted to get to know me and who I was. To me, like for relationships that I've had in the past, other friends' relationships that they've talked about, like the things we talked about within the first week are stuff that people don't talk about after years of being together. And but that allowed me to realize who you were.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I had to make a choice. So it's like, this man is revealing himself to you.
I'm listening. I'm just
Okay,
adjusting.
whatever you need to. It's like this man is revealing himself to you, and I was loving everything that was being revealed. And it was like, you need to meet him in the same facet.
Meet me halfway.
More than halfway. Because he's showing you who he is, and so you need to be able to do the same. And so that's what allowed me to open up. Because there was even times with stuff that we talked about, and in the moment I didn't remember it or wasn't thinking about it, but it was on the same topic, and I come back the next day and let you know or include or whatever it was, because I wanted to make sure that there was nothing that was being left off the table. Like I just wanted to put everything out there. Because in getting to know somebody, if this person that you're getting to know is not someone that you want to continue to get to know, that's a valid choice.
Right.
And so if you are withholding information or things about you to put on a front, you know, to make it seem like you're the person that this person wants, it's gonna come out eventually. And now you just wasted both of their time.
Don't waste time. Man.
No.
We can't look, and that's why I came out from the jump. Because for me, like my personality, my characteristic is like, okay, not saying my life is that important or not too important, but there's not a lot of stuff that that won't be known, like that won't come to the light. That's a true, like all things come to the light. Like you eating the bowl, like it's gonna come to the light. And so I was just being like, you know, I wanted you. Evidently, yes, I had, and I have an interest in you heavily. And I didn't even know how you would respond to none of it, actually. But just like I'm cool to have a conversation with you, and if you want to get to know me, look, it's not hard for you to get to know me, you know. And I say that with all importance is like, first of all, faithfulness is like, I want to be with you and only you. Like, I'm not just having this conversation with everybody or every girl that I had interest in, woman that I had interest in, or whatever, went out on a date. No, like, look, I'm gonna let you know as I'm opening up like this, is telling you that, or should be telling you that, hey, look, I really am digging you, and I want to get all of me out there, let you know how I'm coming, what I came from, where I'm at right now, and where I look to plan on going to. And just, you know, if it was I was always, look, if you get a yes, you get a yes. If you get a no, it's a no, you know. So, but it's nothing to, for me not to be real from the jump. Because that's a lot of time consuming in itself too. Like, just, I'm gonna wait till date number 15, and then I'm gonna start, like, man, look.
That's so.
You overthinking it. You overthinking it. Just be upfront. I mean, if there's a comfortability to be real, just be real. Like, and so, but the major thing too, because the way I was able to do that is because, for me, was like, okay, I am really attracted to this one person and only one. And so, no ulterior motive. I ain't playing no games. You know, I ain't just trying to date you. I'm wanting to court you, which there's two big differences and stuff. And I wanted to be known. So, in a sense, it was, you know, now there was some topics that was like, okay, I just told her that. What the heck am I doing? But at the end, it's like,
it's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. As we're talking about this, we are, 15, I'm about 14:30 in, and that's like the first stages of the relationship. So, you know, there's that pressure we talking about. So what's some things, look, it's DNA. It's a revealing, it's a sculpting, what is the full definition? Like, what is the definition of definition?
Oh, let's see.
As our guy, John Legend. Oh. I close my eyes.
DNA. I'm going to say this word. Give me a second.
DNA?
Got it. Deoxy. I had it.
I know what you're going for.
I want to say
I
it.
just have to look at it. Nucleic deoxyribonucleic acid.
Yep. Help me.
Or drexel and Avery. That's a little bit easier. Asset.
A
Good answer.
self-replicating material which is present in nearly all living organisms as the main constituent.
Yep.
Chromosomes. It is the carrier of genetic information.
So I just wanted you to know all my information that made up me.
Now that you knew mine and we came together.
Man, like you stated, when you came back and like started opening up like conversations after, was like, dang, this is dope. And I'm gonna tell y'all why after she talks about what I asked you. Oh,
You didn't ask me.
oh, I didn't ask you that. What was? Yeah, I did. What was something that? What was one thing that was like? Oh wow, he's like really like telling me a lot of things. Like, what's one thing? I told him my social security card. No, I'm just kidding. And we open.
Something. So much. I mean, honestly, it was when
Y'all
we.
think she remember? Was she listening?
I
Oh
was
Lord.
listening.
The pressure. The heat.
Excuse me.
Communication.
When we talked about, like, when you, in my mind, I think of it as a list. So, like, you pulled out the list and was like, here, answer it. That's how I felt. But it was a good thing.
Scantron.
But to me, that was the, like, you telling me everything. You let me answer first, and then you would, give your response. Because to me, those were the things that mattered. I know, like, everything else you told me was, like, about you, and that I loved all of it. But it was like those things to me defined us. I guess we'll go into it, but like the finances, the health, the belief, faith, sex, all that.
Right. So alright, so let's go into the hottest pressuring topic that probably is out there that we'll think about. The sex part, right? So I came out, right? And before I tell y'all, like, it's not just trying to find somebody that was just like, oh, her and I have the same story, so great, I can be with this person, because you probably won't find that. But there is a grace, and there is a forgiveness, and there is love in Christ that will allow, and mercy, that will allow you to accept somebody. We pray on 3 different bases of love, appreciation, and forgiveness. You have to have that. It's a major thing. So so it don't matter where the background comes from. It's all about the present moment. It's not about the past. That can be a little tangling and growth and maturity in that, but just like the cake, the pressure, the heat. I mean, it don't have to destroy you. Like, pressure either bust pipes or make diamonds. It's all about perspective. We decided to make a diamond out of it all. So the sex topic, my whole spiel was and is until I was the age of 28. I am a virgin. There is restoration and another virginity. Just look it up and talk to God about all that. It's like the second birth, or being born again. But until the age of 28, I was a virgin physically. and I ain't gonna say I slipped up or whatever. I lost my virginity and stuff. But my whole growing up was always like, you know, I want to save my body for my wife. And then there's a lot of things, like I grew up hearing from my parents, like you want to honor God with your body. Your body is the Lord's temple. And so with my relationship with God made it even more of a realness, a trueness, like, okay, that's why I want to keep my body. So many things that can come from sex outside of the pleasures, like diseases that's out there, and not really knowing somebody or who they've been with. Was a lot more scares than pleasure to me. Like one thing I didn't never understand, like why I need protection for something that's supposed to be good, or I'm supposed to use this in order to create something, or really sharing my love. It's just crazy. Didn't make sense to me. And just one other thing was, I mean, I just respected a woman like a lot more than just like I really wanted to get to know a person. I really wanted to get to know that, like, what's your thinking on things, like how you like to float, what's your favorite color, like those little things that really make matter and stuff like that. So I came out just like, I just came out with all the truth. Ooh, it's still gelling.
I wonder if it's too hot.
What is it, 250? It's her birthday cake, so. And she been baking. But, you know, I came out with all those truths and just the way I felt about it. And I am, you know, because after telling all that, then I had to find the acceptance. Not saying, yeah, no, it really didn't matter after it's out there, you know. It's like, would you want to be with that, you know, moving forward, or do we have anything in relation to go about things, talk about things, and stuff like that, regardless of that. So I'm still here today. So from when I talked about then, I don't know I don't know if it was how many days after, whatever. But then your truths are on that topic was.
It was I guess maybe a week later when we went more into it. Cause like when you first revealed that to me, it was just kind of on the fly, like it was just out there, and we just kept talking about right, just kind of thing you just plugged in a sentence and just kept going with whatever else you was talking about at the time. Cause it was not a deep conversation. I don't even think it's like you said it, and that was it. We didn't dive into it or anything like that. But it's like he said it and went on, but my mind stopped in that. But I was excited about it. I was like, okay, this is gonna be good.
Special unicorn.
I mean, because of where I was in my life, like, I was not at the time a virgin. But I had already made the decision in my mind that going forward, I did not want to have sex until I was married. And until you came in the picture, I was like, I'm gonna be alone for a long time. But nah. I was just like, that's going to weed out a lot of people. Because I was not. True. I wasn't playing about it. I was good. I mean, that would have been information that I put out from the beginning, saying, you know, that same situation as you did with me, because I'm not about to lead you on. I'm not about to have you thinking, oh, you wine and dine me, I'm gonna get this in the end. We're not even doing that. Right. So when you came to me with that from the beginning, I was like, okay, cool, we on the same page. Great, got that out the way, good. And so in the weeks to come, or week to come, when we dove deeper into it, that was kind of hard for me to open up in that facet, to talk about my past. And
that was that pressure.
Oh, it was all kind of pressure. Because I'm like, either one or two things are going to happen. Either he going to stick around or he not. And I'm good either way. Because at the end of the day, my relationship with God, and he's already forgiven me. Like, that's all done. So forget what you're talking about. We good.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't have any shame towards it. It was just like, you know, what's going to happen here. But, I mean, anything you wanted to know, I told you. Anything you asked, I answered. With no problem.
So, and, well, just say, from that standpoint, when I heard it from her, I always thought, like, you know, what a dude, like, come on, bro, like, you don't tell her that, like, come
Did
on,
you think about it, or you just said it?
I just said it.
Yeah.
The hardest part for me with that was, all right, bring up the topic. My thing was always, it was, okay, I know where I am, and the reason where I am is because of my relationship with Christ. And you allude to this a lot in our relationship, as far as I'm just, one statement is not having faith in the man or the person, but having faith in God that's in him. And so that means everybody has to have that relationship with God. And so, so for me, it was like, okay, that same confidence, like, well, I know where I am in my relationship with God. And only somebody that has a relationship with God, that, like, a real true relationship, not just, oh, I'm saved, but like, I'm striving. I'm seeking first the kingdom of God. Like, I'm going after that and stuff, even in this area. Will understand where I'm coming from. So that was the pressure for me, was like, okay, when she hears this, will I be judged? Is it like, oh, he just like, oh, that's not a man, like, da da da. And so so that was the pressure for me on that topic. And I was so happy to hear, you know, like, because of having mercy, you know, I think mentally I could not judge you, because at some point in time I experienced that too. And it's not like different levels of sin. There's no different levels of sin. Like, once you have done it, you have done it. So it was like, well, as far as any stats being kept or anything like that, like, you know, the only thing that I was like, that I thought about was like, dang it, but it was like, you know, the dang it was because I know what I'm looking at, and I know I can believe that I see nothing but beauty inside and out, And for somebody, I know guys. I know guys. And so for somebody to in the past have treated you in a manner and did not want to be with you, or whatever the case may be that allowed the separations to come about, that's all I was like, dang it, like, you didn't have to give up your body for that. You know, they didn't love you. But that also I had to leave that in the past, you know. So it was just getting to that point of like, okay, will she accept, you know, that information and not judge me compared, because that's another thing, well, that's one thing, you know, that was the pressure, like, okay, will she compare me to anything that she's been in the past? Like, if she doesn't, you know, accept the fact of my stance on it, will it be a comparison or a judgmental thing and stuff. And so just to hear what you have said made me so happy, because it was like, you know, I'm not trying to, we're not trying to hurt each other.
Right.
We know there's more to one another. And if it has been something that was there that that we both know there was so much more than that, and we went and started going toward that so much more and have found each other, that's where the beautiful connection happened. So when you told me what you told me, it really took a lot of pressure off my shoulders, as far as not being one to fake the phone, or just like, you know, being pressured to do something that was against my will. And we are checking on the cake once again.
It's really smell.
It smells strong. And it was just mine. So, on that topic, on the topic of sex, the one main scripture for us was is 1 Corinthians 6:16 in the Message version, and because of us being in a rooted and grounded in Christ with our own relationship, this holds a heavy place in our lives. And I thank God for it. I mean, if it don't work for nobody else, I'm glad it works for us, because it helps and it makes things a lot more beautiful. But it says, spiritually and physically, there's more to sex than mere skin on skin. Sex is much of a spiritual mystery as a physical fact. That was another thing. Like, that's a lot of, like, if I was out here having sex with all these people, you know how much, like, I used to be in relationships where it was like, hey, like, who are you? Just like, what's you, da da da. And there were so many different characteristics. Like, but a lot of that was because, you know, and not just sex, but that is the transaction of the DNA. It's more than just skin on skin. It's a spiritual. So you're receiving of the person, like you receiving of their intellect, their mindset, the way they feel, their emotions, and then you separate from them, and then you wonder why you doing stuff off the wall that you'll never do. Like, that was another reason I was like, nah. Look, if it's that powerful, I probably need to just finalize and come down to doing it with one person faithfully and let that be that. Because I know I got some ways by myself, so I for sure don't need somebody else's ways.
Soul ties.
Right. Soul ties. It says, as it is written in the scripture, the two become one. Since we want to become spiritually one with the Master, we must not pursue the kind of sex that avoids commitment and intimacy, leaving us more lonely than ever. How many of us have been lonely?
Right.
The kind of sex that can never become one. So you think you are, but you're not. There is in a sense in which sexual sins are different from others. In sexual sin, we violate the sacredness of our own bodies. These bodies that were made for God given and God molded love, for becoming one with another. Or did you realize that your body, this is what I was raised on how hearing, I just heard this part, which thank God for my parents, but like that, those other verses, that's powerful too. Or didn't you realize that your body is a sacred place, that the place of the Holy Spirit? Don't you see that you can't live however you please, squandering what God paid such a high price for in Jesus Christ? The physical part of you is not some piece of property belonging to the spiritual part of you. God owns the whole works. So let people see God in and through your body. So 1 Corinthians 6:16 through 20, message version. Check it out for yourselves and stuff. And we hope that just in that alone would help and stuff like that, you all, as it has helped us and stuff. So we're gonna keep on vibing, we're gonna keep on rolling and stuff. We are an hour and 1 minute in. We got this cake doing what it do and stuff like that. We got Sister Martha Stewart, cousin.
Sister Martha Stewart. What? My name is Avery.
Or is it Pam? Shout out to Pam. Hey,
I
get
used to
them.
know a Pam, Miss Pam.
Yeah.
That's my godfather's wife's name.
Shout out to Pam. That spray butter.
You and me the winner.
Man, we're gonna have to do some YouTubes on who I get to meet. Look, she was doing the show forward and back. See, oh no, you can't give up on me.
I wasn't giving up.
Okay, I'm relaxed.
I wasn't giving up on you. Okay.
All right.
So this is going back. This one is coming forward.
Okay.
So straight. You gonna go up.
Oh. Could it ever be my dominant side? Because I feel.
Oh yeah, whichever one. Right. I'm the wrong one.
I feel like I can be. Yeah, because you.
I do that.
Oh,
No, you
shit.
was in the right. You was going forward with this one.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Let's go! I'm gonna be shoulder hustling all. I'm going to the second line. Forget it. Mardi
Nah,
Gras
it's
hour.
something different.
Oh, yeah, it
Then I
is.
showed the hustler at the second.
But if I
time.
do it, would they get mad?
No, but
Okay. I was just wondering.
you would look like you're not from there.
I mean, clearly they're gonna see me trying to like, you're not from here.
You know, because it's the second line
do.
dance. We got some work. Oh, it's cute.
What are we looking at?
It's alright.
What does that mean?
It's still cooking. It's almost done.
How many minutes did it say?
35.
And you put it on 30?
I did 30, yeah.
No. Too
It's
much.
probably more at like 40.
For bun cakes?
No.
We just gonna cook it until it's done.
Exactly. Because if it ain't done at 30.
So if you ain't married at 30.
So you kept cooking?
So I kept cooking. I had to keep on going through pressures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep it
Depression.
You was
I don't have
depressed.
depression.
Right.
But it's like depressed feelings. Like, oh, Lord. Another one that don't understand.
But now,
But now, so much joy. Once again, it's her birthday, y'all. Like, hey. So, communication. What's your take on that? I know what it is. But it's always good to talk about it because it's communication. Right?
I love communication. It takes out the guessing, the wondering, the did I do it right? Did I say the right thing? Like you always know where the other person stands. In all things. So the questions that you ask, the conversations that you bring up, because it's not always a specific question, but it'll be, you know, what you want to talk about tonight or what we'll talk about tonight. It's just.
It's rain.
I don't know if it's raining because I hear that all the time and it don't be raining.
Oh. Rats outside your bit. No, I'm just lying.
I do not have rats, yo.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck is going on?
But yes, like I always said that communication was very important in a relationship. Like that's one of the things that everybody always says. Communication is important, but I have never had communication like this.
Yeah.
Like what we have.
I haven't either.
And it's just like, no wonder that stuff didn't work.
If I did, it probably didn't happen, first of all. But if I did, it was force. Like, and not me saying, talk to me. No, on the inside, it was like, talk to me. But it was just like, I mean, like, I felt like, all right, why we could communicate about everything else but this? Why? Because are we hiding something? Is something not being said? And so, like you stated, like it cuts out that guessing and all that stuff. Because it's like, nobody got time for that, bro. Like that stuff for the birds.
And honestly, like if you have real communication from the jump, you'll find out a lot about a person.
Like, how you about to take that knife and not cut me?
I wasn't. I'm not gonna even do it. Of course, I'm not gonna touch it, baby.
But you'll find out.
You'll find out a lot about a person, yes.
Hey. Here's a nice opportunity to show you how to shoulder hustle. Because we got cake. Because we got cake. Because we got cake, 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 cake. Okay. Sorry. I got excited for cake.
Alright, what's that?
We good?
Yeah, it's super cool.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Oh, that's what the box said. Sorry.
I was like, you know how long I need to cool? Okay, the music went off. I'm listening. So, was I talking?
Yeah, you was.
I was saying that if you're having real communication like about everything, like you're gonna learn a lot about that person, and if it was destined not to work anyway, would you rather it not work after a year? Or after a couple weeks? Or a couple months?
Right. Like, can we get this done?
Like, you're not about to be here anyway, so come on with it.
So, is relationships really hard, or is it we
People make it hard?
Because you don't want to, like, focus on the little thing.
You worried about, this person looks good next to me. But are they good for you?
Right. Like, you look good in the pictures, but picture that. But it's like, it ain't real, like, all the time. It ain't as so smiling and hunky-dory.
Right.
The way you communicate is phenomenal. Beyond, like, it was the way that I thought in the beginning, like it should be. When I begin just like me really dating, it should be. So I was always the one sounding like you. And then, but just how it was received or lack of, I started cutting off the way that I flowed, which is still, that's still a sense of like living for somebody else instead of being yourself. And so, like people say, I lost myself and just like flowing like the way they flow and stuff like that, rather than just being me. and just doing what I need to do and stuff like that. And so fast forward past all of that to you. It does bring that sense of peace. And look, I don't care. First of all, we don't care. We don't care what y'all think if it's negative talk. As far as communication, like, ooh, that's you saying too much. Like, what is too much?
Right.
And what is
Who
not
said it was
enough?
too much?
Right. And then where does the one draw a line on communication? Like, because I'm sure we can backtrack on a lot of our past and be like, oh, if that communication was there in this instance, then probably. And other things. So we don't care if it's negative talk, but the way we are about even our whereabouts, you know, it does bring that sense of peace. You know, it's something that is appreciated at all times because of the fact that it's like as a man, just being real, if you're a man of your word or integrity, a protector, you know, and being there to help, or if she calling or something go down, not, you know, it don't gotta be nothing bad,
Right.
or like, hey, I need you to come meet me here and stuff like that. Like, that's all a sense of communication, and I find it as it's so much appreciated because at least I know that you are good, or if you needed something, or just, you know, wanted to talk at a split moment in time and stuff like that. You know, like, your life is important, and vice versa for me. So I had to really like switch back into that way that I was, and like really pour out and cleanse out like what I was living by or thought, you know, was just the way, because I was with some people in my past that really did not honor it the way that you honor it and that you do and stuff like that. So, and one last thing on communication for me is also that the reason I think it's so powerful is just like our names. You know, like it builds that consistency. It's just as much as I'm telling you, like, I love you, or you look beautiful, or blah, 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 blah. Like, it's just like your name, like you hear it on a constant basis. So where you can believe it and know that my name is Drexel Amon Perkins, your name is Avery Marie Alexander, your name is whatever your name is, and stuff. You hear it so much, that's that communication.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, I can hear their voice on a constant basis. Now I can hear all those things that they came into the relationship saying they were, or where we're going, or where we at, and stuff like that, or how they are in certain situations, how they want to go about things, because now you are getting used to that person, and you're like the cake, and being put through the pressures, and being able to mold together, and you're just getting sculpted to get together, and those soft parts now starting to get a little bit thicker and hardened, because one thing of communication by itself, like, you know, and I found in communication, because you're coming from two different walks of life, like literally we are strangers working to become one. Like, we're strangers, we're total strangers. So why wouldn't I need to communicate with you? Like,
right.
So it's no like shame or anything, man. Just communicate.
And that again goes with what or where do you draw the line in too much communication? Where do you draw the line in getting to know somebody you don't know?
Right. We do that real quick and call these other people friends, and we then talk to them about 10 minutes, and we let them know 10% of our lives, and it's like, oh, that's my best friend now. So how much more does that need to go on to somebody that you want to be with for the rest of your life?
Right.
Like, yeah, we gonna talk. We gonna
About
talk
everything.
and stuff. And I had to break some things because I was like, you know, how do I communicate with it? Because perspectives, you know, like, you know, am I saying this the right way or da da da? And I can honestly say you have the most I'm making up words, acceptance heart for me. Um, um, that I've experienced and stuff like that, for it to be within the line of communication, in the line of a lot of things, but communication for sure, because it's an opening, like it's a welcoming, like I'm here to listen to you. And there's some things like that she dope, man. She's the fresh. She's the unicorn. She really is of great help, great help. And so I'm just glad that I've been prayed up for this type of person. I done went through a lot of the pressures and time and stuff like that, and it really came in the time that I wasn't really looking for a woman, but I just but I found what I wasn't looking for. It's funny how that happens.
Right.
So,
but I'm only able to be this person because you allow me to be. So
can't control love, just gotta let it flow. No holds barred. It's better that way.
yeah.
It's better that way. So we got the cake. Got the cake. We what next? What we about to do?
I just
Oh, wait until
well, I want to put the ice on.
yeah. Only bakers know what they're doing. I'm just watching. I'm here for the cake.
Well,
And we got ice cream.
I want the icing to go down into the cake so, as it melts.
Yeah.
So, put this in. What?
I'm thinking about something. As we are like so for the mature audience, she's putting the holes in the cake.
I'm putting them holes in the cake.
Putting them holes in the cake. Because she wants the icing to go down into the areas of the holes. So in those areas, that could be like the holes could be like the communication, the financial talk, the health talk, the sex talk, the family talk, where's personal family, where I come from, who I am, what I have been through, experience, the lessons, like all that, and it's going down into the depth of the cake and stuff like that. So therefore, it's becoming one and stuff. So this is pretty dope. The openness is like a representation of like an open heart or open line of communication. And like we said, the icing is like the sex and stuff like that. After all that is talked about, molded, shaped, and this, that, and the other, and you going into the depth with one another after marriage, sex after marriage. And so, and now it's becoming one. And now it's beautiful and shaped, because one thing about it is the cake kind of didn't look so good without the icing. So, but it came together and it's becoming one, and it's making that ugly little cake. Not the cake wasn't that ugly, but it's making that ugly little cake
You know what I
so much beautiful. And she gotta say it. Yes.
So, like, I was thinking, really like this? Okay, I gotta handle that.
I can do that.
Oh, so I don't know if it's the same with with cake batter, but cookie dough.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the same concept. It was mixed together, form of a cookie. You gotta put it in the oven to bake. So, eating raw cookie dough is not healthy. It's
I've done
kind
that.
of dangerous.
I've heard.
So it's like, could it be that if you partake in things before things in a relationship, the ingredients have all come together, but the proper heat not being applied before time could be deadly.
True. Like if you ate that cake, if we ate the cake before it was like really done, like that ain't good. Like
No.
you haven't even molded yet. You're not even one. So just like that cookie dough, like the cake, like anything that is not properly ready
Right.
and shaped, it can. It can be dangerous. It can be very dangerous. It can be.
But baking some.
We got cake, y'all.
Guys.
Got her. Look at that cake. So when you do your part, you can just flow better. That's that partnership. So, we will, look, I don't even have to taste it. I know it's gonna be good. And we were almost an hour. She gonna just hopefully not cut her tongue. We're gonna enjoy this cake. Enjoy this ice cream that's in the freezer. Appreciate y'all.
Cashew milk, coconut milk. Try it.
Yes, healthy. We're gonna enjoy her birthday. Appreciate y'all looking, listening. But it doesn't help if we're not all applying and stuff like that. It don't have to be everything, but it can be something and stuff. And just as much as we talking about this all, we are still in the process. We still in the oven too, and stuff like that. But we just she put me on game to the way I am about things. But in everything, no better time than now. So we was like, let's get this thing rolling. So we'll be doing some more DNA episodes. I'm done talking. I'm ready to eat.
In all things, keep God first. So that's in everything that we've talked about. That's the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
This dude over here shoulder hustling.
The main thing. Right?
But yeah, just keep God first. When determining how to apply the things that you've learned, whether it's from things that we've said or things that you learn in life, always take it back to God and ask Him or allow Him to reveal it to you. And that's how you'll know how to move and operate in your own life. Bible says, work out your own salvation.
Love y'all. Much love. Stay tuned. Later.